Right when I woke up this morning, I checked my phone to make sure there weren't any new experiences waiting for me. When I saw the blank screen, I felt a bit of relief. I got ready for work and decided to skip out on breakfast today. Got on the same subway I did every day and checked my phone during the ride. When it reached my stop, I got off and walked the 300 meters to work. I didn't get a single notification until I was in the middle of my lunch. I was in my favorite sandwich shop halfway through my roast beef sandwich when I felt my phone vibrate in my pocket. With a sigh mixed with anticipation and fear, I checked my phone and saw that I have a new experience waiting for me. I clicked on the notification and found my character floating around like he always does, but for some reason, his face looked like it was melting off. I tried tapping on the character, but it just stayed on the same screen. My character started to grab at his face, trying to keep it in place, but after a couple of seconds he gave up and let his face slide to the ground. After a couple of seconds, the face disappears from the ground and the character looks back up at me, as if nothing happened. I felt wary, but I tapped on my character again. The whole screen became a deep red, and after a couple of seconds, it flashed to a family of 3 enjoying a meal by a campfire in front of a house. They kept pulling bits of meat from the pot and seemed to be enjoying every single bite. The boy was dancing around the pot as he bit meat from a larger sized bone. After about 5 minutes of watching them eat, a man pulled up into their driveway. He was wearing a white and red shirt with a small cookie logo on the top right. He sat with them and ate a couple of pieces before going into the house. The boy walked behind the man and picked up a bloody foot off the ground. He kicked it as hard as he could and started to laugh. He grabbed a hand after that and walked around and acted like he was holding it, while the man and woman started to laugh along with him. The scene started to speed past the family going back inside, and finally started going back to its normal speed as soon as the sun rose the next morning. The door swung open, and I saw the man in the cookie shirt step outside, lugging 2 large bags. The boy ran behind him and started to punch his back, but the man pushed him down to the ground. The screen went black for a second, and then showed me the man parked in front of a cookie store. He took the 2 large bags out and took them inside. 2 minutes later, he comes back out, locks the front doors, and starts to drive away. My phone jumps back to the home screen after that, and I put the phone back in my pocket while I tried to make sense of what I just watched. I know that the 2 bags contain the man and the woman. The young boy must now be at his house alone, but I didn't really feel bad for him after I watched him play with dismembered body parts. While I was in the middle of my thoughts, my phone started buzzing again. The notification from the app simply said, "Countdown." I opened up the app and saw the number 32 fill up the screen. I knew automatically that I had to leave, but I felt a light tap on my shoulder. I looked behind me and saw a familiar face and shirt. A red and white shirt with a cookie in the top right, and a smile displaying bright yellow teeth. He leaned over to me and pressed his lips right on my ear as he whispered, "Do I know you from somewhere?" I jerked my body back and tried to rush out, but he grabbed onto my arm and tried to pull me back. With desperation kicking in, I used my other hand to jab the man in the eye. He yelped in pain and his grip softened around my arm. Seizing the opportunity, I kicked him in the knee and managed to leave the store as the timer hit 3 seconds. I walked to the side of the building and peeked around the corner. I already heard screams coming from the shop when the timer hit 0, and within seconds I saw people rushing out. They all seemed fine except for a couple of people who had deep gashes in various places. One man was running out with a deep wound on his chest. He got to the middle of the parking lot before he fell to the ground. The door opened for a final time, and Yellowtooth came stumbling out with a butcher knife in one hand and with the other, he was dragging a man face down. Once he got up to his car, he flipped the man over and started to stuff him in the back seat. I wish I could wipe the image of the man's face from my head, but I know I will never forget it. The skin on his face was gone, and the flesh was ripped in various places after being dragged onto the asphalt. I knew I was still at risk of being seen by the man, so I ran back to my company. I didn't stop running until I got to my desk. I took the phone out of my pocket and placed it on the desk. I know that the app is helping me, but I just wanted the notifications to stop. Knowing I was in no condition to work, I sent in an email to the assistant manager that I'll have to take the rest of the day off. I knew it would take around 20 minutes for the manager to reply back with his answer, so I grabbed my phone and went to the restroom. I was sending my wife a text while I sat on the toilet, but a notification popped up and I clicked it. This time the phone didn't go to the screen with my floating character. It went automatically to an actual video of my wife and kid sitting on the bathroom floor. It looked like it was taken from outside of the bathroom window. The window started to go white from a person's deep breath, but my wife and kid were oblivious to it all. There was a time at the bottom right of the screen. 13:35. The camera shifted down and I saw khaki pants and grey shoes and the video cut. The screen went white and came back to a countdown with "Get him now" on the screen. I walked into the office and grabbed a letter opener from my desk. I knew exactly who that was. His name is Brad and he's been eye-fucking my wife since the Christmas party last year. When I got up to him, I saw a picture of my wife's Facebook profile picture on his screen, and that was what confirmed all of my suspicions. I jammed the letter opener in his neck 6 times. Before anyone else could react, I ran out of the door and continued to run the 300 meters to the subway station. I didn't go back home. I know the police are looking for me. I've received over 20 calls and 45 texts from my wife, but I'm not going to check them. The only thing I checked for was the last notification I received today. Gotcha. Time for me to figure this shit out. Hey there everyone, Sir Ayme here. Thank you very much for watching. There's going to be one more part after this, so please, if you have not yet, subscribe and press that little bell that you can see over somewhere next to the subscribe button. That way you'll get notifications whenever I upload a new video. Also, follow me on Twitter. That's also a pretty solid way to get your updates. And I hope to see you next time.